Most of us have a common misconception that beauty trumps everything. Many think that physical attractiveness is the only way to find love. Well, if that's what you think, then you've clearly not met these unlikely couples who've defied society's expectation of what is natural and acceptable. Meet the 15 most unusual couples you won't believe actually exist. They might be just what you needed to have more faith in true love. Before we meet these unlikely couples, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell to see more such eye-opening content. So, let's get started. Number 15. Anna and Lucy DeSank. If you've ever seen twins, you would usually see them together. They dress alike, they have similar friend circles, and have similar hobbies, and that's quite normal. But twin sisters Anna and Lucy DeSank are one of a kind. Considered to be the most identical twins in the world, these two have taken the concept of sharing to a whole new level. Not only do they share a common car, Facebook account, and bed, they both have the same boyfriend. That's right, both of them actually date the same guy. Ben Bryan is a 37-year-old mechanic who's been dating these twins for a while and stays with them and their mother in Perth, Australia. They do everything together. Everything. They all sleep in the same bed with Ben in the middle while holding both their hands at the same time. Love is shared in this relationship and there are no favourites. Ben isn't allowed to spend solo time with only one twin at a time. It's both or none. Truly an odd relationship, but they make it work, and that's all that matters. Number 14. Brittany and Brianna Dean. Here's another pair of twins who like to achieve different milestones in life together. Twins Brittany and Brianna Dean met twins Jeremy and Josh at a twin convention in Ohio. Soon, both the pairs fell in love with each other. They then got married together as well on the same day. To maintain the twin theme, they even got twin priests to marry them off. Next in their shared milestone was for them to get pregnant together, and so they did. Both Brittany and Brianna got pregnant, and they announced the good news on their social media. What's interesting about this pregnancy is that the children won't just be cousins to one another, but also full genetic siblings and quaternary multiples. Number 13. Kwon D. Love can happen between the unlikeliest of people. Kwon D and her boyfriend certainly fit that bill. When Kwon D made it public to her followers on social media that she's dating this man, it drew a lot of negativity and criticism. But that didn't stop her from marrying her love. Now they're happily married with a son. True love is beyond skin deep. Number 12. Gong Yufei. Chinese actress Gong Yufei likes to turn heads with her choice of boyfriends. She's clearly obsessed with the idea of height differences. For example, her first boyfriend was no taller than 1 meter. She could literally pack him in her luggage. If that wasn't ridiculous enough, her new boyfriend is a towering fella at a height of 238 centimeters. Now she looks like the tiny boyfriend from earlier next to this giant. Look at how easily he carries her on his shoulders. Wonder who she's going to date next. Number 11. Lin Mai Nguyen. This Vietnamese beauty is determined to stick with her man no matter what. After she uploaded an image of herself with her boyfriend, the rest of the internet wasn't having it. They couldn't accept that a slender beauty is stuck dating someone who's overweight. Their comments were mostly targeted around his weight and trying to convince her to drop him. Most expected her to delete these less-than-kind comments, but instead she went ahead and posted more images of them together. They've been dating for close to 2 years, and a bunch of hate comments isn't going to stop them. Number 10. Esteban and Donna Sultana. Here's another interesting couple who might defy what's considered normal. Esteban and Donna are two people in love. Their love eventually led to a pregnancy. But what's this? The man is the pregnant one? That's right. This couple is truly unique since Esteban was born a woman but identifies himself as a man, and Donna was born a man and identifies herself as a woman. Quite the switcheroo. Since they never went ahead with operations of their reproductive organs, they're still their genders assigned at birth. They conceive their child the natural way. Donna can be seen kissing her husband's growing tummy here. She's been a supporting wife and stuck through all the hardships of pregnancy faced by her husband. It still does sound weird saying it out loud, but yeah, this is real. Number 9. Mindy and Larry Nickler. Age is just a number, a common adage which many believe, and it's true. Your age doesn't matter. What matters is what's inside. This is probably the attitude which Mindy and Larry Nickler had when they started dating each other. At first glance, they look like father and daughter, but that couldn't be further from reality. They met 8 years ago when Larry was 50 and Mindy was 20. You can't control who you like, and that was the case with these two. Even though there is a 30-year difference between the two, they decided to date. Now they're planning to get married soon, but that's not it. They want to have a child as well. The craziest part is that Larry already has a son named Bruce, who's 27 years old. The heart wants what it wants. We wish them all the happiness. Number 8. Hailey Kirsten. Sometimes love comes to you even when separated by large distance. Hailey Kirsten from Australia never thought that she would find love in a Sudanese man. Thanks to the internet, they met online, and since then they've been together. Yet when she made her relationship public on Instagram, just like others on this list, she too received a lot of hate and trolling. Understandably, she was upset, but it didn't matter. Love always prevails. Number 7. Emily Jennings and Sean. Finding someone who can make you love yourself more in all your flaws is probably the best partner you could ask for. Emily Jennings from Denmark found hers in an online game. She met Sean and corresponded with him for many years before they started to exchange photos of one another. Annalie, being a plus-sized woman, was met with surprise when online friend Sean showed no sign of being put off by it. Soon they started dating and eventually got married. Most of the people in their lives have been accepting of their relationship, except Sean's dad. Sadly, he had cut contact with him as a result. Number 6. Temba and Thule. Isn't this picture cute? The little boy wants to see his mom being married off. But no, that's no boy. He's a grown man, and that's not his mom either. It's his fiancée. Temba and Thule is a 29-year-old actor from South Africa, and he's marrying his love, Hope Masilo. Hope might look older than Temba, but she's actually a year younger. At his age, he still retains the height and facial features of a 10-year-old. They look so happy together. Number 5. Corinne de Souza and Edmilson Alcantara. We often overreact even at the smallest of blemishes on our faces. Worried that we might be judged and made fun of for not having the perfect skin, we go to great lengths to make ourselves look the best around others. For Corinne de Souza, it wasn't as easy as putting on makeup. She suffers from a rare skin disease called xeroderma pigmentosum, which leads to various skin injuries whenever she's exposed to direct UV light. In spite of her predicament, she still had hopes of finding someone and put her faith in God. Her prayers were answered, and she met Edmilson Alcantara, who looked past her skin condition and saw Corinne for who she is. They immediately fell in love and got married after 3 years. There's someone for everyone. Number 4. Nur Hidayah Hassan. You've probably heard the phrase, in sickness and in health, being said during the exchange of wedding vows. Though it's become more of a tradition than an actual practice, Nur Hidayah Hassan from Malaysia lives by it. When her husband Hamdam Hashim suddenly started to have sores all over his body and lost his vision, Nur stuck with him through these tough times. Hamdan was diagnosed with Stevens-Johnson syndrome, which causes adverse skin allergies caused as a reaction to medicines or infections. Social media, as always, was less than kind about Nur and Hamdan's plight. They advised Nur to leave her sick husband and move on. Being a dedicated wife, she stayed with her husband all the way. Hamdan's skin has recovered since, though his vision will never come back. Being blind isn't so bad when you have a wife like Nur. Number 3. Patsara Obnak and Bunmi Kantong. Bunmi Kantong from Thailand always knew he was never going to find love with his deformed face caused by broken capillaries, which was why he couldn't believe it when a 25-year-old beautiful lady by the name of Patsara Obnak fell in love with him in spite of his physical condition. Patsara didn't care about how he looked or how poor he was. The only thing that mattered to her was that Bunmi treated both her and her child from her first marriage with kindness and respect. They eventually got married and are living happily. Number 2. Charlie and Colin Adams. The life of this couple with dwarfism is no different from most people. They raised 2 beautiful daughters, Tilba and Tolly, and they have a relatively normal life. Charlie loves to exercise and keep in shape, and her husband Colin works in the movie industry. When Colin met Charlie for the first day, he immediately knew that she was the one for him, and proposed soon after. Their love has blossomed since then, and they're now expecting a 3rd child. Charlie says that they have a 50% chance of having a child with dwarfism, a 1 in 4 chance of having a child that's inherited both forms of dwarfism, and 25% chance that their child will just be average height. We wish them a happy and long life. Number 1. Yodoxy Yao. Ivory Coast singer and model yodoxy Yao has always been making headlines because of her fashion, and especially her wide hips. They're an incredible 152 centimeters. Social media influencer sought herself a man, and she found this gentleman, a Guinean rapper by the name of Grand P. Stark contrast of their size itself is enough to get the media in frenzy. As you might have already noticed, Grand P looks like an old man, but he's only 30 years old. He suffers from something called progeria, which causes his body to age too soon. Though there is criticism online claiming that yodoxy is only with Grand P for the publicity, she says otherwise. She said size doesn't matter in the matters of heart and love. Didn't these stories of couples from all over the world change your perspective of love and relationships? We hope that it